It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Hump day, halfway gone. Welcome in XL Primetime. Cranking it on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday. Gorgeous day outside. And yep, you already completed a little over half of your week, and you got half more to go. We'll be telling you about the 9 after 5 at the golf club of Southampton, which includes a Skins game tonight. Hopefully you'll come on out. We'll give you all the details of that coming up. And we have got what we think will be kind of fun discussion-wise on the show that will begin today and probably carry on for a little while. And it's dedicated to you college fans, and it mixes hoop and the pigskin. It's Searcy's Sweet 16, and it's whenever we put it on social, it'll have Searcy, and then it'll have the football 16. Okay,
It's always football.
Yeah, it's always football.
You know what's funny? A friend of mine asked me the other day, "What do you guys talk about in the show?" And I said, "Football."
No,
and she goes, "Well, it's basketball season." I said, "Football."
Yeah, we still look. We talk plenty of the other ones, but it does take us back to football, some form or fashion. Now, Jaguars being number 1, but then college football being number 2, and so Leon came up with a cool round of 16 teams making it into his Sweet 16, and he had to kind of come up with a couple different ways to look at this bad boy. And you took a dozen from the 21st century, and then you took what?
I went way back.
Yeah,
I went a little nostalgic, because that's my era. So I went back and I got 8 teams that were phenomenal back in the day, and they're going to pit against each other to get into the Sweet 16.
Right.
To play the 21st century teams.
Yeah.
So I got some classic schools.
Right, and you would think like he'd have like a couple, gimme putts to start off.
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Right out of the gate, we got Frazier and Ali. Out of the gate.
It really is. And just tell them the 2 teams.
The 2 teams are 1995 Nebraska.
Yeah.
And 1999 Florida State.
Okay, those are
Epic battle.
And that could be the national
Great
championship game.
Oh, my God. Stellar football team, stacked with talent. They were just destroying whatever got in their way.
That's a bad selection committee, by the way, Leon.
Well,
I don't know
how
who
it
your
goes.
selection committee is, but that's a bad committee.
I think they wanted eyeballs.
Listen, heavyweight fight, baby.
Yeah, I think they wanted eyeballs and ears right out of the
See,
gate.
he wanted me to do featherweights.
Yeah.
Heavyweights against
No,
featherweights.
it's
No,
one to, like,
I'm going.
maybe ease into it a little
we
bit.
don't ease into things here. We go toe to toe, blow for blow.
All right, so be thinking about it, but we're going to give you some highlights, some roster counts, those that went on to great careers, those that just had absolutely stellar college careers, and hope that you guys will be part of it and hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 or jump in the YouTube chat, because it is one of those fun ones. You get to the watering hole, you order a cold one, you're still battling about which of those 2 teams you think would have won if they faced one another. So we'll have some fun with that. Now, we've got Sweet 16 talk in the hoop world that we're still going to talk about. Transfer portal, coaches moving around, all kinds of things there. But then also in the NFL movement with the New York Giants making one decision. Does it mean they've made more than one decision? We can get into that a little bit later on. But signing Russell Wilson basically says that they are – all right, my interpretation of what they're doing is that they have got a stopgap safety measure in place in signing Russell Wilson, but it does not mean for a moment that the New York Football Giants aren't looking at taking Shedeur Sanders with that number.
Yeah, he's not. It's not a long-term movement type of thing. It's just I look at Russell Wilson as being a bridge for whoever they're going to draft, this upcoming April. I mean, it's amazing to me that a quarterback like Russell Wilson, that's on the downside of his career, can still make $20 million a year, which is amazing to me. But he is, and if they do take Shedeur Sanders, he'll be a mentor. I mean, I'm always a proponent of that.
Right.
As great as Shedeur thinks he is at the college level, he's going to have to still grow up at the professional level. And who better than mentor, I guess, than Russell Wilson, who's been in the league, who's probably a potential Hall of Famer as well.
So here's the strange thing for me is you've got the head coach Brian Dable, the GM Joe Shane. Both are on make or break years right now.
Yeah.
Both could easily be fired after this year. So I think, like you said, I think it's all right. We need something in case the rookie doesn't work. Whoever they pick doesn't work. Like if it's Shedeur, if it doesn't work, at least we've got Russ. they probably thought about Aaron Rodgers initially, but number one, you don't want to wait for it. And number two, you're almost like, all right, it's make or break for us right now.
Yeah.
We can't afford to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't the rookie be an outlier too? If they start Shador right off the bat and then they put Russell in down the stretch and say, hey, listen, we gave the rookie a chance, didn't work out. Give us another year with him to see. I mean, he could be an outlier as well, especially starting off.
I mean, what do you think? Would you give a guy another
No,
chance?
of course not. No, I wouldn't.
If they're
I'm
like
just saying.
5-12.
Well, I mean,
say,
but
we'll give you another shot at it.
desperate times for desperate measures.
All right, but this is this year's version.
Yeah.
This is this year's version of Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
That's what this is.
It's exactly
Is
what it
that
is.
they basically have said, you know what? If we reach for that guy and he doesn't represent what we need him to represent in training camp, we got a fallback plan.
With the exception of Kevin O'Connell was in very good shape with the Vikings. He wasn't going to get fired.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the actual player to player.
Yes, the idea, yes.
Yeah, just player to player. We're going to reach high. We're going to draft a quarterback that represents the future, but we're going to get this kind of fail
safe.
It's funny. I wouldn't even have called Sam Darnold a fail safe coming into the year.
I'm not sure you can call Russ one either right now.
No, because Russ is the opposite. Okay, Sam Darnold has been given a lot of chances, flamed out in a couple different spots, and then all of a sudden had his resurrection last year. Russell had the first 7 years as good as any NFL quarterback could have imagined, including winning a Super Bowl. We're talking stacks and stacks of achievements, stats-wise, in his first 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, just became either comfortable, knocked around, made too much money, and we all know.
Corporate.
Yeah.
No, you guys are all wrong there.
What do you mean all wrong?
Women make your legs weak, man. That's the rock. That's the old rock thing. The women make your legs weak.
It might have been Ciara. It might
made
have
his
been.
legs weak. Don't kid yourself.
But I think maybe Ciara said, "Hey, look at the money we're making here. Let's start doing some more social media."
I don't know what he was doing, but it was way, way, way off the reservation.
Well,
way off.
he went Hollywood on us. That's what happened. He went Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she had something to do with the problem.
And I don't think
Probably.
I'm just, hey, listen, I'm not going to throw daggers.
Yeah, don't.
Right, but you've been in that situation as an NFL player.
It's in the book.
Yeah, but he stayed hungry.
On Amazon,
Exactly, that's
on
it.
Amazon.com.
That's right. Fourth down dam.
Fourth
But I
down
stayed
dam.
hungry, dog.
He stayed hungry.
Yeah, I loved football more than that. Yeah.
Because I still can kind of see it in my head. Someone can find it and shoot it to us on social. That big deal that Russell Wilson got up in, I believe it was in Seattle, or because it was before the trade, and he's laying in bed with his. Was she the fiance then at the time?
I think they were married.
They were married.
Yeah, they were married, and he was just talking about how great
a little
it was.
weird. There's
It
no
was
doubt
so
about it.
weird, and that was
Wasn't that
Russ.
weird? That wasn't weird. That was
I don't know, bro. That was a little,
You got your woman in the bed, you just got a multi-million-dollar deal, and that's weird.
Yeah.
Hey, 12s.
Yeah. Let me just.
you know
That's
what?
sexy, bro.
He was creepy about
Yeah,
it.
let's just
It was
say
a little
He
bit
was
creepy.
creepy.
Yeah, let's just
It
say
was a
I
little,
appreciated it, Leon, but it was still a little weird.
It was a little Duval.
Yeah,
little
yeah.
little odd. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So he has not been the same since.
Thank you, JJ.
Not been the same since. But and I renamed him Rust instead of Russ.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different as far as what New York is doing. They've got a guy who certainly is capable. There were times last year when you said, wait a minute, Russ is showing that hunger again. He's gone from Rust into the Steel City, and look what he's doing, yada, yada, yada. They sat Justin Fields down because they felt like there were limitations with him offensively, and they handed the reins to Russ. And then towards the end, that's when he started to crumble.
Do you guys want to hear him in bed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's hear it.
Hey, Seattle, we got a deal.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. I'm going to see y'all in the morning.
Good night.
Time for y'all to go to bed.
Finally, we can go to sleep.
That was, listen, he about to get some. What are you talking about?
He is.
Yeah, that's
Y'all talking about
HOT.
creepy.
Or
How
he
was that
just
creepy?
did. Or maybe he just
What is
did.
wrong with y'all?
That
That
is
man's about
HOT.
to, that man's about to get some loving. He just got paid and his baby's in his ear. Oh, come on
But
now.
she almost did go Duval with hers
Little bit.
a little bit. But
Hey, Seattle. We got to do. Like, we
Yeah,
know
I
you
never-
don't talk like that.
First of all,
He's
first of all,
I know you don't talk like
Here's the thing.
that.
First of all, y'all have never had a woman whisper in your ear. That is.
Of course.
I'm just saying. That's all. Come on now.
Sirs, don't look at both of us on that.
No, I'm not.
H-O-T
I'm
over
just
here,
saying.
okay?
All right, bro. I was want to make sure. now.
JJ thought it was a little creepy too.
I did. I think Russ is very weird
I
and
do
very
too.
creepy, and like everything he does is disingenuous, which I almost respect at this point. Like, he's been doing it his whole career, and like even his commercials, they make him out to be like a goofy, weird, creepy.
Well, they
guy.
came
Right,
out
bro. To be honest, he wasn't interested in the whispering in the ear. He was just interested in me at that point, selling me. That's all he was interested in.
Well, they came out of
Exactly.
the woodwork against
I understand
him.
your point about whispering in the ear. Trust me.
Yeah.
If she's whispering in my ear, I'm not holding the phone, looking at in the camera, going, "Hey, Seattle, I'm coming." No,
Do you understand what you have?
I'm going somewhere else.
Do you understand what you have beside you in the bed?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my point. If I'm doing that, I'm not worried about going to Seattle. I'm worried about going somewhere else. I'm not even looking at the phone. Throwing the phone away.
Well, maybe from the neck down, she ain't had nothing on. Maybe that's why you kept the phone so close.
Well,
to herself.
one of them convinced the other that they had to have a social post at that moment. One
I
of them.
wonder
Oh, yeah,
which one that
exactly.
was.
Yeah, so you guys can figure that out. But they all came out of the woodwork against Russ once he did leave the Great Northwest. And then they started piling on, goes to Denver. He orders up an office. Hey, don't talk to me in my locker. Talk to me in my office. And everything just went south from there. All right, so, but here he is.
Imagine the chutzpah of that, by the way, asking for his own office.
He had a list.
God,
This wasn't just red and green M&Ms. This was a list.
right, but it's also at the point when he's Rust. He's no longer Rust.
Yeah, he thought when he went there, they didn't think he was Rust. He knew it, but they didn't.
Sometimes you get in that point in your career when you deserve your own bathroom.
Yeah, they reached hard. And look.
And I respect that.
Like Costanza?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve it. He just borrowed it.
Mr. Tomasino.
He just
Tell
borrowed
him
it.
I'm in my office.
All right, but here's the other part of this. Okay, real quick. They said that's the fail-safe, and they're going Shador, or they feel like Cleveland is going Shador. So here we are. We have gone from it's Cam Ward and Shador at the end of the season to, wait a minute, there's some separation between Cam and Shador. Cam could go number one. Shador won't. Shador's a little further down. And now he's right back up there, either two or three off the board now.
Yeah. Well, listen, him going to the Giants, I mean, they still got work to do. Offensive line, running game. They got a nice little Malik Neighbors is going to be a stud. But, I mean, is he going to have time to throw to him? They still got the pieces around him don't look that appealing at all as far as the offensive line goes. Malik Neighbors is the only guy that you can really attest to.
Yeah, that's true. There ain't a whole lot of other things going on up there.
They're going quarterback.
Yeah.
No
they
matter
got
what
to.
happens, they're
They
going
have to.
quarterback.
Well, no matter what happens. What if Cam Ward and Shador go 1 and 2?
Then they're taking Dart.
That'd be nuts.
See?
That'd be nuts.
They need a quarterback, man.
I get that. I do get that. I do know that.
They are definitely going 5-12 with Rust. Okay, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, they basically have to figure out exactly where they can swing and land. And Jackson, they're going to have to come back in and get Jackson Dart.
We've got how many days before the draft now? Like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, well,
100% Jackson Dart. By the time the draft week rolls around,
Yeah.
he could be a top 5 pick. 100%.
That
100%.
That's believable, yes.
They quarterback love make you crazy. I say it all the time. All right, Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show. You can definitely line up a little 9 after 5 this afternoon. We get going a little after 5 p.m., give you time to get off work and get there. And the Skins game, a new addition this year, so you can come on out, throw a little in the pile, enjoy, have fun, gamble, be with your buddies, some food afterwards and prizes. So call 287-PLAY on a gorgeous night. Head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. We'd love to see you out there. So let's set up 1995 Nebraska in a play-in game versus 1999 Florida State. We're talking about a run-the-table operation for Bobby in 99. First time that they had ever done it. And Nebraska was on their way to winning, 3 or 4 titles at that point. And they steamrolled the Gators that year.
They steamrolled everybody that year.
They did. So start thinking about it. What side would you be on in that game? We're going to roll some highlights, some rosters, all that stuff. It is Searcy's Sweet 16 in the pigskin world. We're doing it coming up.
Franz Wagner gets a step. He jams it.
I'm Orlando's Magic Man, Franz Wagner.
A German hammer.
On Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010 XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. You're a quarter of the way into the annual race to a better you. Now is not the time to let up. All those weight loss goals you set at the beginning of the year are still attainable with Awaken 180 weight loss. Look, we all want to look better, and if you're ready to get serious about being the best you, it's time to get serious about Awaken 180 weight loss. It's time to get serious about losing weight the right way and getting into the best shape of your life safely. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Blue is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Reach your goals with Awaken 180 weight loss and become a new you. There's still time to make 2025 your year of change. Choose the simple, clear path to success with a solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's first coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March. The Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Top Dog Tavern is your gathering place for family and friends, offering something for everyone. Want a delicious meal served with a smile? We have you covered. Shareable appetizers, hot and crispy wings, juicy tavern burgers, fresh salads, plus a large craft beer selection. And there is nowhere better to watch all the big games than on our multiple TVs. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and good times at Top Dog Tavern, located in Bartram Park off Old St. Augustine Road.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. Johns Middle School Athletic Association. Spring pickleball, tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? Hurry, time is running out. March is almost over. You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Sign up at sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
Listen up, poker players. March is heating up at all 3 Best Bet locations. The Bad Beat jackpots are now uncapped, soaring to new heights. So don't miss your chance to win big. Plus, get in on the $42,000 weekend windfall, featuring $1,000 high hands every Friday and $500 high hands on Saturdays. And starting March 3rd, the Race to a Race promotion is back. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
E.T. here, and it's time for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass, April 23rd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area. Craft cocktails, games, and unique auction items will be present. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who's passionate about golf and its values, while impacting the youth in our community. All proceeds benefit First Tee, North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com. Come on, somebody.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
And the nose going for the juggler. Here's Peter Ward. Back to return this punt. And fully blocked the last punt. Cheney scooped it up and scored a touchdown. Second touchdown by the Dolphins. And so he rushes this one. That sometimes happens after a blocked punt. One hop. Warwick says, let's go. And Allen, 40-yard line. In a race, won't catch him. Hello, end zone. Frazier adding more numbers, more yards to those. Big, oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break? Touchdown.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
My God, man, take me back in time. Take me back to the 80s and the 90s, the glorious ball on the gridiron. Oh, that is so good. And Brent Musburger to help us with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Fowler and Herb Street, but he's just not this. Fowler's
There's
just,
nothing
he
like,
doesn't have that.
No, it's nothing like this is for all the Tostitos. That's rare.
You are looking live.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So you hear the firepower. And this is our play-in game. This is from, well, Leon has been told to stay in a zero. This is from his era. Okay. This is last century ball, but it still was some of the best that we have seen. And the play-in game to get to Searcy Sweet 16 on the gridiron is 1995 Nebraska versus 1999 Florida State. Throw them some numbers.
Wait, is there like is this a neutral site or is it campus sites?
Has to be neutral.
It's got to be neutral.
Got to be neutral.
Come on.
All right.
All games are played at the Rose Bowl at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
all
it.
game with perfect weather, right?
Yes.
All right.
The granddaddy of them all. Numbers.
Well, listen, Nebraska. Listen, I looked up some of the numbers. It was a mean machine, that running game. That running game was the consummate middle finger to everybody else. We're going to run the ball. You have nothing you can do about it. These guys, they average 57 rushes a game. All right? And out of those 57 rushes a game, they average 400 yards a game rushing the football.
Incredible.
7.7 yards per carry. That's crazy to me.
YPC 7 yards.
7 yards per carry, bro. It doesn't make any sense to me.
First down, run, first down, run,
That
first
part.
down.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then I'm looking at the roster and the guys they had on the roster. You remember Lawrence Phillips was and you had Amon Green, who was the backup.
Yeah, Amon
Green was the backup. So I mean,
Peters brothers on defense.
Yeah,
Terrell Farley. They were so good, man.
Yeah,
just so good. The offensive line.
Oh yeah,
my gosh.
Got Outland Trophy winners across the board.
Let me give you another great number, and this is really hard for me because I love that 99 Knowles team, and you guys have heard me say this many times. I think Peter Warwick is the greatest college football player I've ever seen. Okay. Nebraska, average margin of victory, 38.7 points. This is what they getting. They played 4 teams that finished in the AP top 10 during the season, okay? They beat Florida 62-24, beat number 5. Florida was number 2. Beat number 5 Colorado 44-21, beat number 7 Kansas State 49-25, and beat number 9 Kansas 41-3.
Yeah, they just smoked them. It's so funny. The texter says, I really, really, really didn't need to hear about Frazier. I still, to this day, can't eat Tostitos. So he knows what that's all about.
I mean, they literally were we're imposing our will on you.
Yeah, I always tell
Good
the story.
luck trying to stop us.
My brother, they took a big trip out to Vegas. They stayed in Vegas, gambling, having a good time. Then they take the 2-hour bus over to Tempe.
Right.
And I'm back here, and I'm kind of jealous that he's out there and all this kind of stuff. And then it all unfolds. And I could just turn the TV off and get up off my couch and watch. No, he had to stay the whole time. All that, I gotta wade through all this Husker stuff and then get back on a bus for 2 more hours to go back to Vegas. Can't leave it. And so, listen, when you hear those numbers, when you hear, and this was a football team that did not rely on balance. They didn't need to mix the pass with the run. They just did what they did, and you had to do something about it.
Yeah, and they averaged, just think about this. They averaged 77 plays a game.
Which is high even in this day and age.
Yeah, in this day and age.
That's a high number.
That's a high number as far as plays. And then the average per carry and the yards per carry. I can't imagine them getting any lost yardage in the way they run the football. Listen, when I put up those numbers, I was blown away. Matt was a little upset that I had them in the playing game because he said they should have been the number 1 seed.
That's another factor in this game, this playing game right now. I think they're going to be a little pissed off that they're in the playing game, too.
They can play angry. They can play angry.
Let me tell you something. I think they may put a number on it.
He only did that because it was any team before 2000.
Yeah.
And,
of course.
And so let's put them up against 1999, Florida State, because it does include one of the other more dynamic players that you saw in the 90s. There's no question about that. And
they're not that far apart either. That's the thing. No. They're 4 years apart.
Yeah, 4 years apart, and you had teams that basically became unstoppable. You feared them on both sides of the ball. When you're talking about what Florida State was able to do, it was, in the end, against the Mike Vick-led Hokies. You're talking about great ball that they played. 8-0, ran through the ACC, 12-0 with a perfect record. This was the 24th season for Bobby Bowden and in position to win his second national title. Mickey Andrews was the defensive coordinator. You can just go through the victories. The numbers are all there.
Yeah. Winky was 30, but that's a shot.
He was an old fart, but he won the Heisman.
But he won the Heisman Trophy, man. I'm looking at his numbers right now. He had over 3,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns. It completed 60% of his passes. That Florida State. But
don't forget the Bowden Bowl that year, though.
Yeah, there was the Bowden Bowl.
There was a very close kick that Clemson missed that could have brought that game to overtime.
Wow.
That was Tommy Bowden.
Yep. And it was.
I think Warwick did not play. I think that was right after the arrest. Matt, where are you? Am I right about that? The Bowden Bowl against Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would assume if Warwick played in that game, it would have been a bigger victory.
Yeah, I still got the T-shirts they were selling in Gainesville on the streets, the Heistman.
Oh, my goodness.
At Dillard's. I believe I still have
Yeah,
that.
I remember the Clemson Tiger was dressed up in like a jail outfit with like a Dillard's bag.
Terrible.
Just hilarious.
Corey Simon, Brian Allen, Tommy Pauly, Tay Cody, Derek Gibson, all these guys played in the NFL.
Yeah.
They not to mention the offense, which is loaded with NFL people. This is a great Florida State team.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Who you putting up? Who you putting up early in this ball game? Okay. Who's got to battle back? If it's the angry Huskers, do they churn and burn and put together a nice 15-play, 9-minute clock-soaking drive to take the early lead, and then all of a sudden Winky feels a little extra pressure?
Well, listen, I'm thinking the firepower on both sides of the ball is going to come down to a fourth quarter. I think whoever gets the last, I'm seeing in this scenario, I'm thinking Nebraska gets the ball last, 4-minute offense, run a timeout, score the late touchdown to win it.
Okay.
I don't think Florida State gets blown out. I think they had too many weapons offensively to get blown out.
Yeah, you guys got to help us a little bit. How you see this thing going? 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, because this is one of 4 play-in games that we've got. 8 teams from Leon's era in the 19th or the 20th century, 1900s. And then we're going to basically take those 4 teams, add them to the first 12 that he has from the 21st century, and create Searcy Sweet 16. But you guys got to tell us, who would you have winning this game? 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. So early lean.
So I'm going with Nebraska.
Okay. All right.
Fourth quarter touchdown to win. Who you got, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know that Florida State could block him, to be honest with you. That's going to be a major problem. A major, major problem. And that's what really was Nebraska's most underrated factor of that team is their defensive line was just outrageous. Outrageous. You want to talk about getting pressure with 4? They got pressure with 4. And then every once in a while you see Terrell Farley coming off the edge. And then it's 5, and then you're dead at that point.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me if Florida State goes 8 in the box against Nebraska, 8
they're still going to run on them.
8-man front.
They're still going to run on them.
They're still going to run on them.
Bro, everybody in college football went 8 and 9 in the box on them. And guess what?
But this is Florida State.
Darnell Dockett,
These Florida
look, he
boys,
could have
I
a hand
mean-
in that. He could slow him down a little bit. You know?
I'm sure Jamal Reynolds could too. I'm sure there's a lot of people in that Florida State defense that you think, all right, these guys will be all right.
I just meant with his crafty play. He could help slow him down a little bit. This one texter, born and raised in Nebraska, absolutely loved it. We were on top of the world and then fell off a cliff. And he's not wrong. Because if you think about it, some of the great teams in that era, it's taken them a while to get back. Now, Michigan had a hand in a natty back in the late 90s. Look how long it took them to get back to where they were just a couple short seasons ago. Miami, you guys did win after that, of course, in the early 21st century, but
haven't won in
not a lot
24
since
years,
then.
but
yeah, not a lot since then.
Still lead the state, but go ahead.
All right. So, but you're leaning Husker on this.
I'm leaning Huskers. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not only leaning. I mean, I think it's
a blowout.
I don't think it's a blowout, but I think you get like a punt return for a touchdown from Peter Work. You think the Noles are up like 13-7 or something like that, and Noles are probably feeling good. A lot like Florida when they went up 10-7 on them, and then
they thought,
and then the tsunami came.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think it would be that bad, but I think it would be a comfortable win.
All right, so here's at least they're coming in 6-4, 1-10-10. Noles by 20, no answer for Warwick. FSU 99 was unbeatable. Florida State too fast for them corn-feds. Peter Warwick, game of his life. Cornhusker, Street Husker, no mustard. FSU by 30. And so that's Noel Nation coming.
Yeah,
through,
absolutely.
which you would expect.
I'm just telling you, those were grown men.
Yeah,
in this Nebraska line of
I just
scrimmage.
believe that 99, like FSU, you go back and they had Anquan Bolden was on that team.
Yes,
you could start
I
going through all the
understand all
guys
that.
with Warwick and Kendall Pope and so many other ones that they brought in. And Anquan immediately made his presence felt. Of course, Warwick definitely had. You could go down the line with some big-time players on that side of the ball. All right, 6-4, 1-10-10. You guys got to help.
So what do you say? Because we got Nebraska right here. JJ got to vote too.
Oh, I got Nebraska.
Oh,
okay. See, so it doesn't even matter then. It's 3-1.
Yeah, but you got to stand up and be recognized.
And by the way, Peter Warwick did play in that game.
Yes.
in the Clemson game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what did they say? He had
11 catches for 121 yards, but our texter said he was pretty rusty in that game.
Yeah, but if he had that many catches,
that's pretty damn good.
Define rust. Okay, but here's how I look at it. Okay, 95 to 99 is when you saw a transformation in college football. And you can enter Steve Spurrier into this conversation because in 95, his air raid and all that stuff, the fun and gun, it didn't quite work against Nebraska. They got paddled. Then they came back the next year.
You're putting it nicely there.
Yeah, they came back the next year, and they obviously won everything against a very good FSU team. But that was the transition point. I'm putting 99 FSU over 95 Nebraska.
Let me tell you a classic Spurrier story, okay?
Yeah.
It's the next season in 96, and Florida's like, they're on a roll. They're like 8-0, 9-0, something like that, all right? And somebody asked Spurrier, it was after practice one day, like, Nebraska's looming, would you like to see Nebraska again? He just goes like this. He waves his hand. No.
It's the classic.
It was so good. He goes, hey, we're not thinking about that.
Nope. Won't do it.
He wanted no part of that team. Even a year later, wanted no part of him.
Like they were suiting up players to try and tackle Tommy Frazier down the sidelines. There was like 13 guys took a shot at him. Couldn't do it. High Tide. I've seen this movie. Nebraska wins a close one. FSU wins by 3 with another missed field goal as time expires. I'm thinking that you might have that one.
Wait, let's look at it this way. How much
little messed
better
up
do you
there.
think the 93 FSU team, the 99 FSU team is than the 93? How much better are they?
I'm using the word exponentially.
Really?
Yeah, it was just so much better.
And then 93 team was pretty good, man.
Yeah, they were, but they had to rely on a PI. Was it pass interference or was it unsportsmanlike? Anyway, to get that extra 15 yards for Scott Bentley to boot it through against Nebraska, it just wasn't as loaded a team.
Because the 93 Nebraska team compared to the 95 Nebraska team, night and day.
Night and day. That's what I'm saying. The FSU 93 versus 99, I don't know if I'd say night and day, but they beat a much lesser Nebraska team in 1993. All right, 6-4-1-10-10. We're having fun with it. It's Searcy Sweet 16. These are the play-in games. We will definitely get into a handful of just kind of storylines for these, and then we'll set up day by day. We can try and get 3 of them done this week, another one next week, and then we'll set up our Sweet 16. We definitely will get back to the actual hoop and Sweet 16 basketball with games starting tomorrow night. We'll do all that coming up. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget, call 287-PLAY. Get on the tee sheet with a brand new Skins game tonight. Come on out and play 9 with XL Primetime.
10-10-XL.
Did you hear that? Hear what?
10-10-XL. 10-10-XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 26, 1973, at the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, UCLA beats Memphis for the Bruins' 7th straight title. Bruins Bill Walton is named the tournament's most outstanding player.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
This is Corona Premier. It's the light beer you didn't know was a light beer. Until right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of light. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
A nice drive in the right. It's enough. It's back. And it's gone. For the cycle. It's a walk-off grand slam. Florida State wins it. 8-4. A cycle in capital letters. Welcome back to Northeast Florida. Alex Ladise.
I don't know that you could have asked for more than that for that young man. A Bartram Trail star, graduate over there in the Northwest SJC. And he gets to come back, and this is always a big ball game. Knowles Gators on the Diamond, Bregan Field, downtown, just as they are close to unveiling all the finishing touches of their renovated park down there. And this dude drives it. It looked to me like the deepest part of the field. You guys tell me if you were there last night. But anyway, out to right field. And he hit for the cycle. Imagine hitting for the cycle in your own hometown where you grew up, probably went and watched some Jumbo Shrimp games back in the day and dreamed of being in that ballpark and delivering. Hits for the cycle with a Grand Slam walk-off winner.
That's about it
against
for him.
your rival.
That's about him. That's about it for him. Like as far as career
You've
highlights.
done it all,
that's
bud. Yeah.
That's it, man.
You've done it all.
Okay, explain to me.
That's dropping the mic and walking off the stage, man.
So, okay, explain to me the cycle. The cycle's a single, double, triple, then home run.
You just explained it.
And in his,
I just want to make sure.
And in his case, it ain't just a home run; it's a grand.
It's a grand
slam.
It's a granny to walk off.
Okay.
Okay. So,
by the way, Jeff Colleen, who I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I would love to have heard Deckerhoff on that. Deckerhoff would have done that thing justice.
I love nothing beat like if you were like we're having fun right now and we're going back in the 1900s, the 20th century, and coming up with these play-in games. But if you had kind of the discussion on the great play-by-play guys, and I just got fired up listening to Brent Musburger.
Right.
Just think of Deckerhoff.
Deckerhoff hadn't done baseball in years.
Munson and all these guys. Oh, yeah.
Even before Colleen took over, he hadn't
Heck.
done baseball in a long time.
How long has it been since is it at least 2 years, if not 3?
I think this was Colleen's third year, right?
It happens fast. It's at least 2. It might have been his third.
Because the guy in Florida, his third as well,
Yeah,
right?
Kelly. Yeah, that sounds right. So anyway,
they came in at the same time.
Yeah, and Gene's still doing Tampa Bay games, which is great, but he just wanted to limit his schedule. One of the great voices and personalities in play-by-play.
What a hassle every weekend to have to go back and forth.
Oh, yeah. He
loved it though, man.
Yeah, he loved
Did
it.
he fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he also
not as bad.
Depending on the trip, he had his wife with him, and they get their big bus, kind of like a souped-up large van where he could sleep in the back or whatever.
Yep.
And then they pour their cab late.
So what if FSU plays like Virginia at Virginia, like 7:30 on a Saturday night, and then
he's up.
Sunday afternoon in San Diego, the Bucks have a game?
So I would see him.
That sounds like hell.
Oh,
man.
it is. And that's why he said, you know what, I got to give up one.
Right.
And I think he really enjoyed that NFL Sunday. But he would, like, we would meet up at the ACC kickoff, and he would actually show you the list of what the schedule looks like. And he was just, Joe, I'm just finalizing it right now. I'm just taking a look. And it's like, wow, man. And to keep your, like, and he's studying the teams and doing everything, play sheets, looking at all the stuff.
And to keep your voice fresh the day
yeah.
after you just did a game.
Exactly.
Plus
And he had to give up heaters because of that.
Oh, that's
Right,
sad.
he did. He did. The Bucks were also very good to help him out. Like in that case, JJ, like say they played at Syracuse Saturday night, and the Bucks would fly him from Syracuse to wherever they were going, and then he would take the Bucks plane back. Like he would fly domestic.
Send me a jet.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they would send him a jet, but they would fly him domestic to get there, and then he would fly back with the team.
All right, so that was last night, and there's no question that the young man, former Bartram star, he did light it up. American Electrical, they can light up your world, residential, commercial. They are hiring, which means they can light up your career. Log on American-Electrical.com and see all that they have to offer. Definitely one of the local stars in the electrical game, that's for sure. One of the stars of our show, High Tide, I misread the text, and he's whipped me on it. He said, I've seen this movie talking about Nebraska in football, 1995 versus Florida State, 1999. I've seen this movie. Nebraska wins a close one when FSU misses a field goal at the end of the game. He said, just read what's on the page. Thank you. Just thank you. But it comes down to styles in fights. Which one do you think is going to overwhelm the other one? Most would probably agree that Nebraska and what they did it to everybody. They did it well. They did it over and over and over and over and over. So they probably would overwhelm them. But still, I'm just thinking the turn of the worm in football. The game was changing right then.
Well, I think that probably Nebraska's kryptonite will probably be Tommy Frazier having to throw the ball. And I'm just thinking that Florida State, with a different Florida State team with 8 in the box, as athletic as they are, I mean, I don't see Nebraska trampling them. I see Florida State being effective stopping the runners. But I kept it a close game. I figured they'd go back and forth, like a tennis match, and whoever gets the ball last, I think they essentially win. So I gave the nod to Nebraska.
And look, there's no question. There's bias that runs throughout this entire studio. No, Gator. I had to. They're anti-Knowles there. Gator here. I had to rule at least on FSU side just to help the argument a little bit because you guys had it as a landslide. It was 3-0 before I put my vote in.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think the game was changing that much. I mean, Florida State's offense in 99 was very similar to what Florida ran in 95. Very similar.
Yeah. And it was the style of offense that Bobby had, so there's no question about that.
And I got news for you. And what the passing game of Florida State had was no better than what Florida had in 95 either. Just remember that. You can all you want, man. Think about who was on that team.
They were great. Yeah, they were.
That's very comparable, those two teams, the two offenses, and the way they ran their offenses. And
all right, so
Florida
JJ
just looked literally like a Pop Warner team.
Yeah, nah. How did you put it on X as far as how they could?
So
vote?
I just had a vote for each team.
Okay.
Simple as. And 95 Nebraska is winning right now, just 55%.
Okay. All right.
At first, I was worried we had a bunch of Florida State people.
All right.
But it looks to be a little bit more even now.
Yeah, because for every one of them, there's an anti-one of them. So
of course, that's true.
You always have to remember that. So at 1010XL, and we will do this daily as we come out of the 80s and 90s with the play-in games and then get to Searcy's Sweet 16 on the gridiron with the actual matchups, really the best from the 21st century, and then the playing games from last century.
I have a question about the bracket, Leon.
Yes.
Say Nebraska wins this matchup, which it looks like they will. I mean, we're not decide. I guess we decide. I don't know if we're leaving it to the Twitter people. Okay, so Leon decides.
He is.
So usually the play-in game, there's like a 16 seed, and they get to play the 1 seed. Does 95 Nebraska play a 1 seed?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right, that's my whole point with
first
this.
round.
Right.
All the play-ins are considered
16s.
Not as popular as the 20th century. So
go ahead and tell them who they're playing next.
No, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
No,
By the way,
but all the playing teams have to go play the number 1 seeds.
Yeah. This is a cut and light production, okay? So you step off, George, okay? This is a cut and light, all right?
I just got a few problems with the way he's
this is how it was
sequenced
born.
this thing, that's all.
It was born between puffs.
There's no committee. There's no committee.
I know there's no committee. Your committee sucks, believe me.
This is like the first year of the college football playoff.
Exactly.
With 12 teams.
It's not even that. It's the first year of the BCS.
No committee, bro.
We can shoot holes in it, but still, it's there.
It's a monarchy.
You got the Harris poll, telling you what to do.
It's the Harris Interactive Poll,
whatever.
Which really there was.
Won't be. I'm telling you what. You won't be disappointed in the matchups.
Yeah, I love it.
And the playing team can beat a number 1 seed, bro. That's
obviously that's our point. 95 Nebraska should be a number 1 seed. Whatever. It's not our contest.
Yeah. Well,
that's all right. They'll just be more pissed off the next round.
Right. Listen,
more disrespect.
He didn't ask anybody to co-sign this puppy. Okay?
Exactly.
He's got it right there. All right, here's the texter. I'm a diehard Gator. I was at that game in Arizona in 95. Unfortunately, my birthday. Knew as soon as Nebraska walked on the field. That was a bunch of no one was stopping them, and the quarterback has to have time to throw it, so FSU would have gone swamped, no pun intended, would have gotten swamped. So that's a Gator that's at least saying he's recognizing the Husker greatness in that one.
There might be a little bias in that game.
Not revealing the bias 100%.
Right.
Have you guys ever had like a infamous birthday that was just terrible?
None jumped to
That
mind.
sounds like one of the worst birthdays of all time.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad. Because you can just imagine how hyped and excited you are. You're going to be able to celebrate your birthday. You're going to win a dream come true, which would be winning the first national championship for if he was either a Gator fan or went to the University of Florida, and then have it go the other way.
What was the point spread? Do you guys remember that?
I don't know, but I can find out.
I was in Flagler Hospital with my dad, and Greg was out in Vegas and Tempe partying, and I feel like it was a 7-point line. I feel like Nebraska might have been favored in that bad boy, but I can't remember.
What did you say it was?
I thought 7, but I can't remember.
6.5.
6.5.
Wow.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be a semi-close game.
Yeah, exactly.
38-point margin of victory was the largest margin of victory between number 1 and number 2 team ever.
Yeah, go figure. The 99 Florida
That'll
State,
never be matched.
Yeah, probably. Well,
I got a great story. Hang on.
What was TCU Georgia?
Yeah,
that
well,
wasn't
no,
one
until
versus
then.
two,
I mean,
was
until
it?
then.
That wasn't 1 versus 2.
That wasn't 1 versus 2, but it was also at that point it was the largest.
Yeah, but
at that point.
1 versus 2, meaning they were in the national championship game.
But
no, any 1 versus 2 college football game, it says 38-0. Okay. Yeah.
They're meaning
38 points.
They're meaning, but the AP poll though.
So the AP, it is the AP poll. So during the game, I'm sitting right next to Bianchi. You know, Bianchi and I both work for the Times Union.
This isn't looking good.
No, so Florida goes up 10-7, and Bianchi leans over to me and goes, "They're gonna win this game." And I looked at him. I said, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah.
Because like literally 4 days earlier during media day, they had it in the stadium at Sun Devil Stadium, which is they don't use that place anymore. Well, it's been renovated now. The Arizona State does.
Right.
You walked up to these guys, you saw them face to face. These were grown men. I mean, these were NFL players, is what they were.
Yeah, they were
a whole lot of them too.
They were seed planted and watered.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh!
And then shocked.
And I remember telling him then, dude, they're going to get killed. It's not. I mean, physically, that's kind of my thing with the Florida State. I love the Florida State 1919, love them, but physically, I don't know any team in year 16 that's going to beat them physically.
Well, listen, in 1991, we played the vaunted Nebraska Cornhuskers who averaged 350 yards a game.
A different team.
I'm just saying, but what I'm saying,
different.
you're talking about.
See, he keeps dismissing all these other teams.
So we played in 1991. All right, they averaged 350 yards, and they big husky, walk on the field, look intimidating. 22-0.
Yeah, thank you, Leon. Thank you.
I love that.
Okay.
Now, was there anything to the PED allegations of Nebraska of the 90s, or was that just haters?
I'm sure. You know, you don't get that
Creatine
big.
water.
You don't get that big, and without using.
Yeah, they watered the corn
without using like unique ways of getting that big. Of course.
All right, so the
unique ways.
Texter, the 99 Florida State Seminoles.
I'm not throwing aspersions, JJ. Okay.
The only team to ever start out number 1, both polls, go the whole season without dropping out of either one, and win the national championship. That's why they call it the perfect season. So I get it because, and that's
I don't know what has anything. I don't know what that has anything to do with if you can beat the 95 Nebraska.
Well, because they're trying to justify their side. This is 95 versus 99. These two teams didn't play each other.
Well, LSU was the highest scoring national championship team.
And we just have to remember.
What does that have to do with it?
Opinions are like, everybody's got one.
Yeah.
So that means they're entitled to theirs.
Noses.
Yeah. Even though you think that was the only great Nebraska team. But Leon just mentioned one in 91 where they just got their butts whooped.
But I don't think they were great in 91.
But in the 90s, even 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Right, but my whole thing was they changed. They knew they weren't what they needed to be to beat Florida State and Miami, so they had to change. That's why they changed their strength program, their strength guy, and they added speed. They started recruiting
supplements.
Supplements.
And they started recruiting a little. What do you call them in the locker room, Leon? Thug life.
Oh,
They started getting Lawrence Phillips and those guys.
They did get him.
And the Peters brothers from New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know, the hardcore New Jersey areas. So, yeah, they were, I'm telling you, man, they had changed their idea of how they were going to win. And by 95, they were like a Frankenstein.
And then they weren't. They just kind of came and went pretty fast.
They could have been in the national championship game a year later. They got upset.
Yeah.
They won it in 97.
97 and 98. They shared one of those.
They played for it in 2001 against the other maybe greatest team ever and got annihilated. And and then it fell off the
It's
cliff.
funny how every time they play us, they get annihilated.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? That's how it goes. All right. Searcy Sweet 16. You guys keep them coming. 641-1010. You can go to X at 1010XL and vote on which side, 95 Nebraska, 99 FSU. And this is the Searcy's football version of the Sweet 16. We asked if you ever had one of those infamous birthdays. One time my stepdad made me clean the utility room on my birthday. I was probably in trouble for something, says one of our texters. So that's just a little sidebar.
Another one who says Leon ruined his birthday.
Oh, really?
Yes. The Super Bowl that Leon played in versus Dallas was my birthday. All I wanted as a kid was to see the Steelers win. And, of course, Neil O'Donnell.
Why they got to do that to you,
Yeah,
man?
my apologies.
Yeah.
My sincere apologies.
Hey, Leon, you should.
It ruined my year. So you talking about your birthday. It ruined my year.
You should never have to apologize for Neil O'Donnell. You know what I mean?
You're right.
It is XL Primetime. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget, 2-8-7 play. Come on out tonight. Join me and the rest of them. We'll be out there having a good time. 9-hole game, food afterwards. And the Skins game, brand new this year, so you can jump in on that. 2-8-7 play. Come on out to the Golf Club of Southampton.
Putting some paint on your quarter panel.
All the way up against the wall. There's still 3 feet.
This Sunday at Martinsville.
They both spin out.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, Rural Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
This 1010XL March moment is brought to you by Garber Auto Mall. We can wiggle it.
It's down to 7 seconds. You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, that's a long ways. They won it. On the dunk.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
When no names become household names. Listen for March moments all month long on 1010XL. Driven by Garber Auto Mall. We can wiggle it.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of classic rock with legendary vocalist Jeff Tate. Known for his iconic work with Queensryche, Jeff Tate brings his unforgettable sound to the Florida Theater for one night only.
Round-trip journey in your head.
Witness the hit album Operation Mindcrime, performed in its entirety for the final time. Jeff Tate, Operation Mindcrime, April 3rd at Florida Theater. Tickets at floridatheater.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jacksonville's summer heat is coming in fast. Is your AC ready to handle it? Or will it quit on you on the hottest day of the year, leaving you sweating and stuck with a huge repair bill? Duck Air Conditioning is here to save the day with a free AC system inspection. Our expert techs will make recommendations to ensure your AC system is running in tip-top shape before the heat arrives. Call now, 904-862-6769. Duck Air Conditioning, duckac.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Why is the Dead Sea so named? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Insurance.
The Dead Sea is 9 times saltier than any other sea, which means no living creature can actually live there.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
E.T. here, and spring in Clay County means one thing, the award-winning Clay County Fair. It's more than just rides in a concert, it's an experience. Savor the flavors of classic fair treats, explore family-friendly attractions, and enjoy a perfect mix of small-town charm and big-time fun. Plan your trip with Explore Clay County Tourism and turn your visit into a getaway. Find the best places to stay, eat, and explore at exploreclay.com. And don't forget to share your fair adventures with #ExploreClay.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com. I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The 4th-ranked Florida State Seminoles took down the Florida Gators at VyStar Ballpark 8-4 last night, thanks to junior shortstop Alex Lodice's walk-off moonshot grand slam. It was a historic night for Lodice as he not only hit that walk-off grand slam, but also hit for the cycle as well, right here in his hometown. Lodice is originally from St. Augustine and attended high school at Bartram Trail before attending UNF his freshman year. During his freshman year at UNF, Lodice hit .306 with 16 home runs and 63 RBIs, bringing in first-team All-ASUN honors. Lodice's success has continued the last 2 years at Florida State as the righty is a star in the making. Lodice is 23 games into the season with 7 home runs and an unbelievable .458 batting average, meanwhile being a phenomenal shortstop. It's 80 degrees at 3:01 time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, it's Pinning and Makovica lined up this time behind Frazier in that power eye set. And Frazier still got it, looks down the middle of the field, he goes to the side, and the pass is completed to number 33, Lester Johnson, and Johnson canters on in for a touchdown. Lester Johnson, 210-pound senior from Bellevue, just went up and flipped the ball away.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
The great Keith Jackson on the call there. The reason why that was a highlight because it was a forward pass. And Nebraska did not do a whole hell of a lot of that. Huskers big in that game over Colorado on their way to a national championship and part of a very difficult play-in game against the 99 Florida State Seminoles, courtesy of Searcy's Sweet 16.
If you remember, by the way,
committees are already recommending changes in the way we construct
Critics are already,
this playoff.
Greg Sankey's somewhere super pissed.
Exactly. But if any of you guys challenge it, he'll give you the hands. So just be ready.
I know that. All I'm saying is, you remember in the Florida-Nebraska game, at one point in that game, Nebraska went 5 wide and started throwing the ball on them.
Yeah. That's because,
just as a middle finger to Spurrier.
Yeah, exactly. It's because they were bored. They had nothing else that they needed to prove.
No, because Spurrier didn't recruit Tommy Frazier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He came out of South
So he went
Florida.
out 5 wide and said, I'll show you can throw the ball. And there they go.
Yeah. Listen, they had their heyday in the 90s, and then Florida came back, and they haven't since. But we did have a texter say, remind Searcy Searcy that the 94 Husker whipped that Cane A in the Orange Bowl. So.
Did not whip. We had the lead going into the fourth.
Don't blame that on Frank Costa because I know you
I'm not blaming on Frank. I'm blaming on the offensive line that couldn't protect him down the stretch. All right, because I watched that game. I go back and watch the old games.
Because all you old Canes, you all blame Frank Costa. All you do.
I don't blame Frank Costa. Right. No, I blame the offensive line for not being equipped to protect them.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get back to that. Tell you what we're talking about. It's XL Primetime, Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Hurricane Hall of Famer, Big Searcy, Matty Hayes. You can check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. Joe C. along with JJ on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday, and we're just kind of cranking the memory banks, going back and pitting great teams from the last century against one another to see who makes it into the Searcy Sweet 16 and ultimately plays on for the mythical XL Primetime hardware, the Natty, on our show. But Max just came in with the update, and he just told a cool in the report, just the fact that the young man from Bartram by way of UNF went to FSU and starred last night as a walk-off winner. And Lodis is a guy that maybe is a product of NIL because he did great things in the Atlantic Sun.
Sure he is, yes.
And now goes up to Tallahassee and is able to live out a dream, and obviously lived out a great dream last night, that's for sure. Let's do a little ukulele, if you don't mind that, JJ.
Perfecto!
So let's play off of that last night. A walk-off winner with a little perfecto, brought to you by Pacifico. From the Atlantic to Pacifico, with a delicious Mexican lager found in Baja, imported by surfers. For those that live life anchors up, make sure you enjoy a cold Pacifico. So that happened last night. A Grand Slam walk-off winner to complete the cycle. Not easy to do, friends. Not easy. Okay? As of now, only one Major League Baseball player has ever completed the cycle with a walk-off Grand Slam. Who was it?
Wow. I'm going to say Junior. I'll say Griffey.
You're going to say Griffey?
Griffey Jr., yeah.
I'm going to say, what's the guy's name?
Barry Bonds.
No.
Oh.
With the Dodgers.
Which one? Shohei?
Shohei.
Yeah, those are both good ones. I'll tell you, it's somewhere between Griffey and Shohei. I'll tell you that.
And as far as when they played?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Within the last decade.
How about Vlad?
Nope. Within the last decade.
How about Vlad's son?
Could be Vlad's son.
No.
He doesn't get a lot
Jr.
of triples.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, I don't think he's ever had a triple.
But just to give you an idea, this is a well-known name that is not a well-known name, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it does. No, it does.
And this is in a ballpark where a lot of home runs have been hit. And it goes back to 2017.
So it's Yankee Stadium.
No.
No?
No.
A lot of home runs?
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh?
Nope. Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
2017, June 18th, 2017.
Is it Nolan Arenado?
There you go. Nolan Arenado.
I'm not even going to accept that because he gave so many clues, but
yeah,
I'll
but
give myself
just
a
go
day.
ahead and say perfecto, just so I can hear
You
it.
could have given me 1,000 guesses and I would have gotten it.
Yeah, like I said, Nolan Arenado.
Even like Larry
well-known.
Walker.
He's an unknown, well-known, if that's the best way to put
Yeah,
it.
in baseball, he's very well known,
Yeah.
but baseball's not well known anymore, unfortunately.
Walk-off Grand Slam, bottom of the ninth,
you ever
to
heard
beat
of
the
Nolan?
Giants and complete the cycle.
Never.
He plays for the Cardinals now.
Yeah.
Leon and I both have never heard of the guy.
Yeah. He signed a blockbuster deal probably right around that after that year.
Really?
Yeah, and outstanding play, an all-star. You saw him in the home run contest.
One of the
longer
best
in the league.
fielding third basemen in the last couple decades.
No
really.
longer in the league, though, right?
Yeah, he plays for
Oh,
the
he does.
Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing with baseball. They play forever.
Yeah, he's got to be in his mid-30s.
Right. You look at earnings potential if you could push that button, I'd rather be this versus that.
Yeah.
And between the money golfers are getting now and baseball players and the longevity of their career, if they can stay in it, man, they can make cake.
Especially if you're a pitcher, man.
I just looked up his career earnings. I want to hear it from you guys. What do you guess? Nolan Arenado, who is 33, career earnings. You guys have never heard of him.
180 million.
Never. I bet it's more than that. I bet it's over 200.
I'm probably going low.
Leon?
350.
No, not that much. Matt was right on $211 million career earnings.
Never heard of
for
him.
Nolan Arenado.
Heard of him. Neither's Leon.
Love baseball, and for anyone who argues pro salary cap, whatever, just for the players, not having a salary cap is the best thing possible.
Right.
Yeah. And the money that is in the sport, or for that matter, in sports these days, it's incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
All right, so just want to get that one in. We can get back to what has been kind of a fun discussion, getting back and forth in terms of FSU and Nebraska. Which of these two teams could you see winning that mythical ball game? And we're doing it with Searcy's Sweet 16 gridiron style and breaking out the pigskin with this one. But we have 3 more play-in games with the great teams from the 1900s. It doesn't really count because it's really from the 80s and 90s is what we're talking about. But we've had plenty that have come in. You can do it on X at 1010XL. You can vote simply which would win, 95 Nebraska, 99 FSU. Let's see here. Rod Frazier, the fullback for Florida, got beaten every day for what his brother did. And Tommy Frazier was another one of those South Florida kids that got out of the Sunshine State.
Bradenton, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, another Florida.
But that's South Florida to me. No matter whether you're Gold Coast or East Coast, it's still South Florida.
No one wanted him to play quarterback. Miami, Florida State.
What were his measurables? Was he 6
foot?
Yeah, 6 foot. He was
But he was an option quarterback.
Yeah, he just didn't.
Yeah.
And they were, and I'm telling you that's why we're talking about whether or not other offenses weren't interested in running that, and they had turned the corner and were starting to do different things.
Right.
And Nebraska wasn't about to do anything different at that point. That was a great
all 3
roster.
schools, you got to remember, all 3 schools at that particular time were pro style.
Yeah, throwing
all pro style offenses.
Yeah.
Miami, Florida, and Florida State.
So that may have led to a chip on Tommy Frazier's shoulder. I'm just saying.
Had to be.
Say that again, louder.
I said that may have led to a chip on Tommy Frazier's shoulder.
I'm pretty sure whatever school he went, I'm sure he probably visited all 3 schools, and whatever school he went to, they probably said, you can't play quarterback here.
Right, they wanted to play safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny that we're talking about the early 90s when he was recruited, and it was because he was an option guy. But then fast forward to Lamar in the early O's, and they didn't believe he could play quarterback. It's crazy when you think about it. And Lamar represented kind of a new age as well at that point.
But that was the knock on Lamar, too. The reason why he went to Louisville is because I guess they figured that he would Miami, Florida State, he wouldn't fit in their offense.
Well, to be fair to him, Jim McElwain, this might have been the best thing Jim McElwain ever did. He actually wanted to sign him. He offered him a scholarship and everything, but Lamar was too far down the road at that point.
Yeah, it had been wooed by the great Bob Petrino at that point.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's
smart move, by the way, by Lamar.
Yeah, and Bobby Petrino put him in a position, and he told the story, and it's a great one, that he had to get out of. He went from Miami to Boynton Beach, and his mom said, "You got to get out of here because it's not going to end well. You got too many."
What was the story? Someone told us that he was like making money as like a Pop Warner kid or something.
He probably was.
Did you tell us that, Leon?
They probably were betting on him and giving him a slice.
Someone told us that he was earning money as a Pop Warner player.
Oh yeah. Down in South Florida, they bet on Pop Warner games. They do.
And they probably just gave him a slice. Break off just a little bit of what I
We're
made
talking
off
thousands
of
of dollars they bet down on South Florida Pop Warner football.
Thousands.
God, I can't wait to have a son.
Thousands.
That sounds like a blast.
You got to put him in the
At, like
proper
the Little
environment.
League games.
None of that, imagine how good he was in Pop Warner too.
You have to put him in the proper environment. Yeah, where they gamble on Pop.
Yeah, exactly.
Rent was paid, I tell you that for sure.
Be like, hey, excuse me, guys, before I sign my kid up, is there going to be lots of gambling at these games?
Can I see the betting lines?
Well, listen, there's actually a documentary on that if y'all look it up where they show South Florida.
Yeah, it was on ESPN.
Yeah, it was on ESPN, yeah.
It was like a 30 for 30. Or no, I don't know if it was a 30. It was like those E60 things.
And they spot shadowed parents getting up and walking across the stands and handing money off.
Yeah.
All this kind of
Really?
Stuff. Oh yeah. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
But Lamar said that his mom said, "You got too many bad influences. This is not going to end well. I'm getting you up and out of Miami." Went to Boynton Beach. He was told by, like he said, "I want to go out for football and this and that." And then his mom said, "You can't do it until you get your grades right." Goes out for spring. Coach says, "You got to do X, X, and X before we even think about you playing quarterback." He had done it within a week, and then the rest is.
Well, you know, it was a Kane that was at Louisville that pulled him away from Miami when they were recruiting him. Lamar Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Lamar Thomas was his recruit.
Really?
Yeah, we gave them all kind of hell for pulling them up out of Miami, out of Florida, and taking them to Louisville.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He was doing his job, but he was robbing his, his alumni.
Who was your coach then? That was probably Randy, right?
That year, was it Randy? It might have been Al. It might have been Al.
Another great recruiter.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. He recognized talent when they were leaving.
Yeah.
When they were out the door.
Talent, recognized talent.
Hey, he got himself an NFL gig.
He did.
Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator. Congrats, Al.
Did a great job last year.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. How many years as the defensive coordinator up there in South Bend?
I believe.
2?
Yeah.
He did, honestly, a great play caller and put them guys in position where they played. They were just on tilt. They played.
Where's he at now?
They played way above their
Now
own,
he's with
which
the
is
Bengals.
A great
The
coaching
Bengals?
job. Yeah.
Okay.
They played way above their ability, which is a great. They all hit their ceiling.
Yeah.
It's a great coaching job.
And they were a good tackling team.
Yeah.
Ran to the ball, pursuit, angles of attack, all that
very
stuff.
smart.
Yeah. And we were talking about aptitude yesterday, their ability to recognize and react really fast. I don't know how good he'll do in the NFL, but we've seen this new wave. I don't know if it's a new wave, but more and more coaches that are coming out of college, being looked at by NFL teams. Look no further than what Liam Cohen's doing here, as he's pulled some guys out of the college ranks, and they're bringing them up with no fear whatsoever. Jeff Hafley. Oh, yeah, let's do that real quick.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So there might be some happy. I'm sure there's a lot of happy people actually in SEC country. Gary Danielson has announced his retirement as CBS Sports lead college football analyst following the 25 season. He will be replaced by.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. This
Chuck
is a good
D.
one. Yeah.
Chuck D. Charles Davis.
Yeah.
Our buddy, our friend of the program.
And
good for Charles. Man.
When I saw it, I was happy for Charles, but it was funny that Gary Danielson has been, in a lot of ways, whether you liked him or not, an institution in college football, particularly when it was Saturdays in the SEC on CBS. But
He gets
now
a
he's been
bad
up there.
rap, too.
Yeah, in Big Ten land. Yeah, he kind of
like people to disrespect him. I think he's great.
I think he's really good.
They jack him up way too much.
I agree.
Yeah, and so we had him on. We need to get him on again and then probably say congratulations, that he's going to have it, at the very least, let it be known that this is his last year, and he'll do all 25 and then ride off into the football sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a good career. That's for
Literally
sure.
right in his RV, which he takes everywhere.
He's so he doesn't get up in the air.
No.
Okay.
Really?
No.
What's with these
Well,
guys?
I guess now that I think that was in the SEC. I mean, he's in the he might have to now, unless he just tells them I only want games at X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, USC.
Which I guess is possible.
Yeah,
No, he was at that Penn State USC game last year. He did that game.
Yeah.
So he had to, right? He had to have flown out there. He lives in Naples.
Madden did.
This is the time of the year when we.
That's true. Madden didn't. That's a great point.
But this is the time of year when we now the breadth of this whole Pac-12, the 4 that were robbed out of Pac-12 land to play ACC and Big Ten ball. What was it, a total? Well, 4 to the Big Ten, 2 to the. Is it 2?
4 from the Big Ten.
That went
4 from the Pac-12.
Yeah. Anyway, looking at some of these travel schedules.
2 to the ACC.
In baseball.
Yeah, and it's Olympic sports. It's brutal.
It's nuts.
It's absolutely brutal. By the way, his RV was a Prevost, which is the top of the line RV.
Mm-hmm.
He had me in there one time after an Alabama game. He did like this post show on CBS online.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal.
Oh yeah,
unreal. I mean, the back areas. He's like taking me on a tour in the back area where you sleep. The bathroom literally looked like a nice bathroom in a nice hotel. Like a Ritz bathroom.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You're going to be in it for like 3 days.
Yeah,
So
right. If you're driving out to L.A. for the USC Penn State game, it better be.
Yeah, get it souped up.
And he's got a driver, so he's not doing any of the driving.
For all you non-flying people, and I am allowed to say this because my mother-in-law is one of them, you guys are weirdos, dude.
The non-flyers.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Get on that plane.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happened to you.
I can literally get on a plane, sit in the seat, and fall asleep in 2 minutes.
And
easily.
dude, meanwhile, you're driving 90 on the interstate. It's like you're way more likely to die that way.
I don't want to talk about death in the air or on the road.
Or rail, anywhere.
Yeah. As many
Blame
miles
Gary
as I
Danielson
log,
for that.
Yeah, I don't want it's XL Primetime.
She's the gem of your ride home.
You've got something everybody wants. You've got talent, girl.
Lauren Brooks.
And I'm not just saying that.
On Helmets and Heels from noon to 2.
If you want to rock, you got to break the rules.
On 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Franchi here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jack rolling.
Struggling with ED? Now Riddle Wellness has a solution that works. You've heard of PRP treatments for joint pain relief. That same technology is now available with the P-Shot, a non-surgical treatment for ED. Using your body's natural power, the P-Shot helps restore function naturally. No pills, no downtime, just results. Schedule a free consultation at ElevateJacksonville.com and learn what the P-Shot can do for you. Riddle Wellness, your health, your confidence totally restored. Visit ElevateJacksonville.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase now through March.
All aboard the Combine, Free Agency, the Draft.
Here we go.
Ride the offseason like a locomotive with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Might want to buckle up, baby.
AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. When a client reaches the goal that they've set, they are so proud of themselves. They are so thrilled with how they look and how they feel. They are ready to take on the next thing. And that's one thing about weight loss. It's so much more than a number on a scale. It's about self-respect. It's a momentum thing. Now that I've lost 50 pounds, wow, there's no reason why I can't do this next thing that initially seemed so daunting, but now I know I can do it. The celebration is not just how much better you look and feel, but how much more self-respect you have. We get on a track of success at Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless success. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas, build a protective barrier around your yard, and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those suckers ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's first coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
I love when Gio comes in ready to rock and roll, all scrubbed up and whatnot, but he is busy. He's just busy, and he's seeing patients and trying to make sure that they are back on the mend. Dr. George Bari, we miss you, bro.
Hey, man, how are you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We know that you got clinic and patients to see, and you're busy, but we wanted to work in some sports injury questions. So if you guys have one, 641-1010, you can hit the text line. We're talking a young man growing up in Jacksonville, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews, so he can help you, that's for sure, at Bari Orthopedics. All right, Gio, I want to talk about the biggest one that happened over this past week in the world of women's college basketball with their tournament going on. Juju Watkins, just the biggest star coming out this year. Anyway, she's on a dribble drive, and it's basically, I don't even know if it was a fast break. She was just driving to the basket and tears her right ACL.
Yeah.
Nasty injury for her. It was terrible.
Yeah, and then we always talk about how they're non-contact injuries, right? And so it's more common in women than in men.
Why is that?
And so it's just there's some anatomy issues that predisposes females to ACL tears compared to men. Their ACLs are a little smaller. They're more quad dominant. The tunnel that the ACL runs in is also smaller, so it can help impinge it, and then females also walk a little bit more valgus. So those are just some issues that can predispose somebody to an ACL rupture. So it's more common in females, but unfortunately for her, it happened now, right at the end of the season when they're trying to make the run, and for her it's going to be 9 months. We always say it's 9 months to come back from an ACL. Obviously, There's some exceptions, but usually it's 9 months to come back.
All right, Gio, Will Johnson, the Michigan corner, projected first-round pick, shut it down in October because of turf toe, and still hasn't run. Still hasn't.
Now still has a hamstring.
Now has a hammy, but still hasn't performed for scouts, either at pro day or a combine. Can a turf toe last that long?
Well, turf toe, normally what you do is conservative treatment, stiff sole shoe. You can take some anti-inflammatories. And then there are surgeries for it. Not super common, but you can do that. And it does take about 3 to 4 months to come back from it. I'm assuming he hasn't had a surgery.
But what would that surgery be? How about that?
So there's a couple of things. One, they can repair if there's a small the sesamoid, which is a small little bone in the foot. They can remove it. They can fix if there's a small fracture that comes with the turf toe. So there's a couple of things. Just depends on what's going on. But if you do the surgery, it's 3 to 4 months. Now, it doesn't sound like he did it, and I'm assuming if he needed it, they would have done it back in October because he would be ready by now.
Well,
right?
See, here's at least the rub, okay? Because coming out of him not working out of the combine, there was all this chatter. Did he shut it down to preserve his future as far as a high draft pick? Because he shut it down in October, had not played played 6 games, then shut it down. So then he comes out after that, Gio, and says that his quote was, "Sounds like just a toe, but I had torn some ligaments in my toe, so I couldn't run, couldn't plant, couldn't do anything for a while, really until mid-January." Does that sound like he was trying to rest it, or they actually had to do something?
So bad injuries, even if they don't require surgery, can take 6 to 8 weeks to get better for a turf toe. And if he's in October, and then that kind of maybe puts you close to January, like he was mentioning. So it is possible. But, at this point, it could be also possible that he wants to preserve where he's at because maybe he hasn't ran in 2 to 3 months and maybe a little bit out of shape and not his peak performance, so doesn't want to go out and risk.
Because this is a guy that has been linked to the Jags in some mocks.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, we don't have the imaging to see what's going on. I'm sure they have X-ray and MRI on it to see what's happening, but it can go either way. It could be he's just preserving himself, or it could be this is still bothering him and he just doesn't want to talk about it.
All right, let me throw one more at you, actually a couple more from the basketball world. And the first one is AD, and we know that Anthony Davis went to Dallas in the Luka Doncic trade, and Luka's been playing, coming back from that sore calf, but he's been pretty healthy. AD, as soon as he gets there, he basically, an adductor muscle, a groin injury that had him sidelined for basically a month. So they finally get him back in the lineup the other night, Gio, and they put him on a 28 minutes per game restriction. He looked good, went for 12 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. But where is this 28 minutes versus maybe letting him play a full game?
I think they put their finger in their mouth and put it up in the air to feel the wind and just kind of see what happened. I mean, they're just trying to give him a minutes restriction, and 28, arbitrary number that they decided.
Right.
But it's not like there's a science behind 28 minutes versus 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They just wanted to, give him some playing time and just see how he does. A little bit more than a half type thing.
All right, Dame Lillard, and this is not in your wheelhouse, but it's still a big part of our world, is he's got the thrombosis. He's got a blood clot, so he's going to be shutting it down at least for, where we're looking at the near future here, less than a month before the playoffs begin, but he's on the injury report, and he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, so blood clots happen. We've had, I don't know how to say his name, Wembanyama, I think, has one. But, traveling long distance in a plane is a risk factor for a blood clot, and these guys do that all the time. Having surgery is a risk factor for a blood clot. Lower extremity surgery is a risk factor for a blood clot. So already being long-distance plane rides is already a risk factor. Now, they did mention they don't think it's going to happen again. It's very rare, so they probably did I'm assuming, some genetic testing on him, because usually if you're young and you get a blood clot, they want to make sure that there's no genetic reason you're getting a blood clot so they can prevent it from happening again and becoming what we call pulmonary embolism, which goes to your lungs.
Yeah, scary.
And the fact that they said probably not going to happen again sounds like it's a one-off thing. It's just a freak, unfortunate for him. And you can, some people do recommend if this happened to him, he can take an aspirin twice a day before he goes on a flight just to prevent it. Again, but then you have your games that you have to play the next day, and you have a risk of bleeding, so that's an issue. And that's why you can't play contact sports when you have a history of blood clot, and you have to have treatment for it, because you can get brain bleeds if you have an injury. I think it's just a freak thing for him, right? And other than that, there's not much to do. Just kind of, he's going to be on blood thinners now to stabilize the clot, and usually they go 3 to 6 months, depending, and after that he'll be fine.
All right, we know you got to run one more because we all want to know what this is. All right. On the text line, the guy says he has a diagnosis of a fat pad atrophy. He's been told there's no treatment for it. Is that true?
So, yes, that is true.
First off, explain the fat pad atrophy, if you may.
I know exactly what this man's talking about. I had a fat pad edema.
Yeah. So you have a fat pad in a couple spots, but a lot of times when we say fat pad atrophy, usually he didn't say what body part, but the foot. Just like in the sole of your foot, right? You have a bunch of cushion. You have a bunch of fat there, so when you walk, it doesn't. You're not walking on bone. And fat pad atrophy it means that it has atrophied. It's gone away, and that happens as you age. Usually, as you age, you see people's hands get thinner, right? You can see their veins, you can see their bones and tendons because their fat kind of goes away as you age. And so that's fat pad atrophy. He's probably having some foot pain because of it. It can cause some tenderness and some pain, but there's really not much to do. You can add cushion to the shoe, but you can't.
You can't get a shark fat pad?
No, there are some cosmetic procedures that they're doing now for hands that people don't like the way their hands look as they get older because you start seeing the tendons and veins. They start injecting. I'm not a plastic surgeon, but I don't know if it's fat or not, but they inject some stuff underneath it to kind of plump it up a little bit so that diminishes.
Well, hopefully this will get better for him. He can certainly go to some where they outfit you with shoes that will help a little bit. That's for sure. But I'm thinking Doug and Carrie, King of Queens, she said she wanted to get implants, and he's like, wow, this is going to be awesome. She got calf implants. So, you never know. You never know. It's possible. All right, Gio, you're the man. We miss you. Do you miss us?
I do. I haven't seen you guys in like 3 weeks.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's all on you, man.
Exactly,
You guys
Gio.
used to bring the car to come pick me up from the office, and now I got to drive myself.
All right, we will talk to you next week.
All right, guys.
All right, Dr. George Bari. Make sure you check out everything they've got going. BariOrthopedics.com. Locations all over the city of Jacksonville. They definitely can take care of you. And if you need help, that's the man right there. All right, we're going to get back to our first play-in game. Leon has got to name the champion of this game that moves in to the Searcy Sweet 16.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Frank Francie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for over 75 years. And now, catch this. Bono's new limited time offer features an Atlantic fried cod platter with 2 pieces of mouth-watering fried cod and 1 southern side for $15.49, or a fried cod sandwich with 1 southern side for $12.99. You can't beat that deal. And after 1 bite, you'll be hooked. So you better hurry in. The fried cod platter right now at Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Golf lovers, listen up. UF Health Jacksonville is bringing you an exciting day on the greens with their inaugural Golf Classic Friday, April 25th at Amelia River Club. It's your chance to tee up for a cause supporting Northeast Florida's premier academic health center while enjoying a top-notch golf experience. Sponsorships are available. Whether you're looking to showcase your brand or just play a great round of golf for a great cause, now's the time to get involved. Visit ufhealthjacks.org/golf to learn more.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, World Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 26, 1973, at the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, UCLA beats Memphis for the Bruins' 7th straight title. Bruins' Bill Walton is named the tournament's most outstanding player.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you are a 6th-generation jeweler. What kind of watch do you wear?
Frank, I think I've told this story 1,000 times. The watch I wear is a Rolex, and here's why. When my grandfather gave me a gift for graduating from college, he said, I want you to have something that you'll always remember me for. And he gave me a Rolex watch, and some 35 years later, it still runs and looks as good as it did the day I got it, a day I'll always remember. This might be the right time for you to create the same kind of memory, and nothing does it better than a Rolex from Underwoods. Whether it's a lady or a man's, the Rolex Oyster has the classic good looks and incredible durability and accuracy that make it the watch people want to own. And at Underwoods, all of our Rolexes come with a 5-year guarantee.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928. Underwood Jewelers.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 50% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Trying to figure pricing at most AC companies is like listening to an auctioneer.
Who wants an AC tune-up? Do I hear $3.99? How about $2.99? No, let's drop it. $79? Do we have a deal? Going once, going twice? Sold!
Not at Duck Duck Air Conditioning. We make it easy. We're offering a free AC inspection. No gimmicks, no fine print, just a completely free checkup from our highly trained techs to make sure your AC is ready for summer. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, because free is better than bidding. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Open early and open late. Dailies is always there, making things easy for you to cruise in and cruise out. So hit Dailies cold case the next time you're craving a cold one. Bud Light by the case. Plus plenty of singles to choose from. Corona to the King of Beers to Stella or a Natty. They're all cold at Dailies.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Pick in here, beat the spring cleaning rush, and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
My takeaway is that I woke up this morning and saw Xavier Restrepo apologizing for the 40-day, the terrible 40-day he ran. He claimed that it was his hamstring. It's the reason why he ran a bad 40. Now, I don't think that has anything to do with his accomplishments on the field, but you got to understand, it's better not to do than to have on the books you running the 4.840.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, whether he likes it or not, it may contribute to him from being a second round middle grade into a third round running grade, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it
and
hurt.
I feel bad for him too.
Yeah,
because the last thing you want when you run on the 40 for the NFL team is to be on the books running the 4.8. And that's bad.
I guarantee you, the guy that may have been the most toasted about this is the guy that passed him got passed by him in the record books. Michael Irvin, like, you can't run that slow.
Well, Mike ran a 4.7 too.
Well, okay, back then.
Yeah, back then.
You can't be the most accomplished Hurricane receiver of all time, passing me, and then run that little 4.8.
Yeah, it was bad. But so I felt sorry for the kid.
Irvin was a 4.7 too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was there pro day. That's what I saw.
But it's also, I mean, honestly, it's also these football players are football player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be a guy that nails
what that guy
everything.
looks like.
You could be. I mean, Trey Lance nailed everything. Now he's trying out for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Mm-hmm. He's not even in the league anymore.
No.
Third overall pick. Mm-hmm. So my takeaway is your committee blows. That's my takeaway. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to hear who you think wins that game.
Listen, we have invited.
I have no
this
idea
man.
how Nebraska 1995 is in a play-in game.
Listen,
we have invited this man to innovate and create and be
all the
part
time,
of
you know,
the brain trust that. But
no, Leon always comes up with these great ideas. There's no doubt. It's just different. That's all. It's different.
You just went from your committee blows to it's different.
You know what I'm saying?
It does blow. I mean, I don't know who's on your committee. Let's put it that way. Who's on your committee?
Who's on the committee?
Searcy.
Searcy. Yeah.
Law firm of Searcy.
That's right.
See Searcy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I see on this? Searcy.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you either at this point, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the project, and he's working on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you name as your winner of this first play-in game from the 80s and the 90s?
Nebraska, 1995.
Okay.
That's who they get.
All right.
Now, would you like to know their constellation prize for getting into the playoff game?
Yeah.
Please.
So their constellation prize in the first round against the number 1 seed.
Constellation. I think constellation.
Or constellation.
Constellation is like stars.
Stars.
Right?
They're going to be consoled after this butt whooping.
Yeah,
They're going to need some other stars. After
So so Nebraska 1995 will be playing Alabama 2012.
Okay. They got a real good shot in that game. They got a real
It's
good
a
shot.
real good Alabama team, man.
Yeah. 2012 versus 1995. So that will be one of the Searcy Sweet 16
Yes,
next week. But right now, we're going to go from Nebraska eliminating FSU, and let's at least give people a little bit of what we got tomorrow. What's the next play-in game?
The next play-in game for
the one
tomorrow.
that Matt will start to
he'll start turning it up.
Perhaps an argument against.
So the next playing game for tomorrow is Florida 1996.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Versus my team, Miami 1991.
Wow.
I think
you got
I
a
know how that's
rivalry
gonna
game and a playing game.
No
Wow.
bias involved.
No bias involved.
Whatsoever.
We're going
Not
straight
from
by
the guy
the
who
numbers.
literally played on the
That was
team.
my senior year, by the way.
Hey, why did you have to pick
Well,
us?
how do I know how this is going to play out?
Yeah. Why'd you have to pick us to beat in that first? Listen, I'll go get my robe. Here comes the judge.
That's fine.
Let me just say this. You don't want any of that Javon Curse smoke coming off the edge, okay?
Javon Curse smoke.
He's saying you couldn't guard him, bro.
Oh, you said I could have
couldn't
blocked
handle
him.
I'm telling you, you don't want any Javon Curse smoke coming off the edge.
Stop it.
That's going to be a good one. All right, so that's our next play-in game. Everybody needs to get ready for it tomorrow. We'll go through the rosters. But more than anything else, the fun part about this is just to kind of take us back to some of those great memories, great moments, everything we've had. And we kind of forget some of the great ones. We always think that whatever the next is the greatest thing. We kind of get locked in that recency bias. But those were some dang good teams.
He didn't get a sack off you in the NFL, did he?
He did get a sack. It was a bootleg, and Mark ran and he ran.
Well, that's not really a sack then.
Well, listen, he set the rookie, which I'm still pissed about. He set the rookie sack record off me at that bootleg.
With that?
Yes, with that bootleg.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, it was in Tennessee when it happened.
Yeah, that would hurt. All right, so real quick, we need to at least bring up a little bit of the actual Sweet 16 because we're going to be to it tomorrow night. And Tennessee and Kentucky, the only SEC-only matchup, which might produce something pretty dang special. The Wildcats, they were able to handle their business against Tennessee in the regular season, beat them both games.
Twice, yeah.
So does it happen again? And we're going to be breaking them down tomorrow a little bit more. But does it happen again? Does Mark Pope have something for him?
I think Kentucky has I don't know if I'm better is the right word. Has a deeper roster.
Mm-hmm.
But Tennessee has the ability, if Chaz Lanier stays hot, they can make that because they're very good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
They can clamp down and start hitting threes, and then it's a different game at that point. But if Tennessee's not hitting their shots, that's the difference. Is Kentucky has different guys that can get open and get points.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's kind of limited.
I just kind of feel like all of a sudden even though they didn't win the SEC, what one of their guards, Gainey, was able to do down the stretch in that game, and then what Lanier's been able to do in the first couple of games, like they're not found points. Ziegler still is running the show and doing everything, but
terrific player.
Yeah, but
terrific college player.
I kind of feel like it's a little bit like it's found points, particularly from Lanier. Anyway, I like Kentucky, liked what the bracket looked like with both of these teams getting to this point, but I still got the Vols winning this game.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kentucky beats them again.
I got Tennessee moving forward.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to look at that one a little closer.
Tennessee is a 4.5-point favorite.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. 4.5. Okay. All right. And so the odds makers are looking at them at the right time, starting to peak, but they know each other very, very well. This is going to come down to the Barnes versus Pope. Does that experience with Barnes as the least profitable coach in NCAA tournament history, does that serve him well when he goes up against Kentucky for the third time this season? You got a lot of other good matchups coming up tomorrow and Friday. And I will miss the Cinderella, but not once these games tip off. Because there's a lot of good games.
There's a lot of good ball.
And this is the direction that we're headed in, and I think we're going to stay. The first week is going to be fun. You're going to have one or two that's going to sneak through the cracks 1 year or whatever. But this is the first time in a long time that we've not had an 11 seed make it in.
Well, as much as we say we want to see Cinderellas, we're all Power 5 snobs.
Yeah,
we are.
It's the truth.
We don't.
Although George Mason, that kind of stuff is fun.
Yeah, every now and again when
NC
you see
State
that.
last year.
Yeah, NC State. Yeah.
But NC State is kind of like Arkansas. They're
NC State. Yeah, they're what do you call that? Tobacco Road.
Yeah, they shouldn't count as a Cinderella, even though they were that low a seed.
Plus, in Arkansas, it's a 10 seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the only double-digit seed that's alive, and so that's what I'm saying. They're last year's version of it.
What was FAU's seed? I mean, I would call that a Cinderella.
13, I think, right?
I'd have to go
13?
back and think, but that's probably they were probably down there. They may have been
I think they
might have been 2 11s.
Might have been 12.
Yeah, but that's the true Cinderella.
Yeah, that's true Cinderella.
For them to get through like that, and knowing that Elijah Martin leaves there and comes to the Gators.
They were 9.
A 9 seed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well.
And we'll see if we see any more of those. I do think there's still a chance that'll happen, but the bigs are going to pay the NIL freight to get the stars to come to play for them.
Yeah. Three of the players off the FAU team that went to the Final Four are Arkansas, Florida, and they're at Michigan right now.
The head coach is at Michigan.
And the head coach is at Michigan, too.
Yeah, and so they had the two bigs, the 1 7-footer that followed him. And Michigan's going to be a tough out, too.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't no doubt about it. You want to talk about a team that has size, no limitations. They can protect the paint. They can do a lot of things inside and outside, kind of like this guy.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
That's what they say about Hayes Carline. Good inside and outside guy.
No limitations.
Do it all.
Yep.
No limitations.
Whatever you need me to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give
handle
it my
it.
all.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. You know, it's all ball bearings nowadays.
Could you have kept that ball in the yard last night?
No.
What an unbelievable walk-off winner for
unbelievable.
a young man
Yeah,
from Barton.
congratulations to the Noles. What a unbelievable victory. And, boy, that Florida baseball team, boy, they're struggling. But
all of a sudden, Gator fans or whomever is going in on social against this team for lack of
I mean, I'll admittedly,
Yes.
I don't.
Surprise, shock.
I'm not even a bandwagon Gators baseball fan. Like they have to be basically like in Omaha, up, 1-0 in the final best of 3 series. Bottom of the 8th with like the lead for me to tune in to watch like the conclusion of that. But I mean, they obviously, Kevin O'Sullivan's done such a magnificent job there. They were in Omaha last year after a tough regular season. So, he's obviously in no danger at all. And to hear, Frank and we had Jeff Cardozo on yesterday and they were talking about all the injuries they've had. So it seems like they've had some tough breaks, but yeah, what a great win for FSU and what a great environment. That's really cool that we have that event here and hopefully we'll be able to hold on to it for a long time.
Well, I love it. What's coming up?
We'll certainly break down that game as well, and we'll talk some Jaguars. We'll get into tomorrow's Sweet 16 game, Florida, Maryland, as well as the other matchups as well. So a lot of fun stuff to cover coming up on the Frangie Show.
All right, sounds good, man.
Thank you, guys.
Hayes Carline, Frank Frangie, JJ. They will keep it rolling throughout the afternoon, then into the night, Hacker After Dark, all sorts of good things coming your way right here on the Superstation. So tomorrow is 96 Florida v.
versus Miami 1991.
All right, you guys start studying those rosters. See who you think would win that bad boy. We got that coming tomorrow. 9 after 5 tonight. If you can head on out, 2-8-7 play. Brand new Skins game along with a great 9-hole game at the Golf Club of Southampton. Make sure you call. You can get out there just a little after 5 and tee it up and have fun. A little food afterwards and surprises thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Big Sirs, Maddie, Joe C, and JJ. You got the Francis Show coming up.